Let me switch gears and ask you about the attacks on the judiciary. Last year, Chief Justice Roberts went out of his way in writing his praise for all of the justices, for the judiciary branch as a whole. We have seen quite a few attacks on the judiciary from the highest levels. Are these attacks bad for the country? Are they something that we've seen through history and should be and can be tolerated? Where do you fall?
I think the independence of our federal judiciary is one of our nation's hallmark and pride. Judges can't defend themselves. They depend on members of the bar and the public to help preserve that institution, do the job that was intended for it, that is to judge impartially, without respect to persons. And it is distressing when the people regard the judiciary as just another political branch of government. I can say the court on which I serve that although the press tends to play up the 5-4 divisions, we are unanimous much more often than we divide 5-4. There is a collegial spirit that prevails. The Supreme Court is more collegial than any other place I've ever worked. There is a strong desire to keep the judiciary in the place that it has held. Even though there has been criticism, if it's the right kind, is constructive. But on the whole, compare, say, take a poll of the people, what they think of the court versus what they think of Congress or the executive branch. And the judiciary comes out way ahead.
So you would agree, though, with your fellow justice, your newest colleague, Justice Gorsuch, when he told Senator Blumenthal last year during his confirmation process that he felt that the attacks on the judiciary branch were, quote, disheartening and demoralizing?
Well, they are disheartening, yes. But there are people, lawyers, who speak out in defense of an independent judiciary and point out how important that is to our system.
Let me ask you about the free press. You live in the Watergate, correct? Still?
Yes, I do.
And Watergate, the scandal, may never have been uncovered without the free press. Do you feel that the free press is threatened today? And what is your view as you look at it in totality with the attacks on the judiciary, on law enforcement, the intelligence community, the press? What does it tell you?
Well, I would like to turn that question around and ask you if you feel threatened in that regard. On the whole, I think the press has done very well, not giving way to the criticism from some people in the political arena. So do you, when you're reporting, do you feel, do you see it as...
I feel protected by the Constitution.
Good. You could see, you could take it not as something that makes you fearful, but something that's a challenge.
I feel protected by our laws. And I wonder, as someone who has lived through a few more administrations than I have, if what you think these attacks say about our society, does it concern you
It's been that way from the very beginning
to this level?
of the press. And I mean, one of our greatest founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson,
That's true.
was terribly distressed at what the press was reporting about him. But he didn't think that the press should be squelched.
Do you think that those holding the highest offices now politically think the press should be squelched?
Well, I will not respond to that question, but a free press is of tremendous importance to a society.